I was very impressed by the group of young people. Some were in sales, some were in digital, some in design, but it appears to me that they're coming up with the right skill sets that the workforce needs today.
I think even more than just trying to get a job or an internship or a position, it's also an opportunity to network and meet people.
Well, I think it's been a great experience. I think it's been a great opportunity to meet a lot of strong young professional candidates.
But just meeting the students, answering questions, and most importantly, getting exposure about some of the positions that we have opening up at our company.
I think it was exciting for most people. I think it's always interesting to kind of get that, feel like they're learning a lot more about the organizations that they're going to potentially apply to.
Yeah, they actually wore shark socks. That was pretty cool.
The atmosphere has been incredibly energetic. It's been nice just meeting with the students.
Yeah, I think it's been high energy. I think the venue is great.
So I think it ran really smoothly. Getting the chance to give a 5-minute speech from every company here first was really nice, and then getting the chance to go back and actually talk to the ones that we want to talk to is really beneficial.
The best part for me was having the opportunity to go back and talk to the companies that I felt strongest about, where I thought I could fit in and really adapt to their culture.
My first job after college has been at Rosetta as a project manager. Prior to that, I was at the Cleveland Indians in an internship role for a couple of years, and in that I was actually focused in their merchandising distribution. So it was a bit of a different role in terms of marketing, my background in the University of Akron and my major, but I gained a lot of experience, particularly in working as a team, managing people, and prioritizing and understanding what challenges I and my team faced every day, and making sure we're prioritizing and tackling the most critical pieces first. Because in any career, you're going to face a lot of different tasks and challenges, and you need to understand which are the most important, and likely you're going to have more work than you can tackle at one point in time. So you really need to be able to understand what is the best use of my time. And that's, to be honest, one of the biggest things that I developed in my time at the Cleveland Indians, as well as just building upon my skills to build relationships. So I developed a lot of those skills here at the University of Akron, whether it was with professors or fellow students or faculty. And my experience at the Cleveland Indians took that a step further and helped me really understand the ways that you can take steps on your own to build relationships and to make those last and make those meaningful for anyone who's involved. I'm Jordan Panna. I am an alumni of the University of Akron Marketing Department. I currently am a project manager at Rosetta, and I am a proud Zip. I've seen and experienced in the few years that I've been out of college, and as well as basing on my own experiences at the University of Akron, I think some of the skills that are so important to students for them to learn and practice in college revolve around their ability to problem solve and understand challenges, ask questions, gain experience. It's not necessarily tied to one specific concept or one specific class. It's more around their ability to understand problems, ask questions, form a solution of their own, validate that with others, ask more questions, the ability to know what to do when you don't know what to do. And I think that's so important for anyone, regardless of what major you're studying, what industry you're in, to be able to identify where you have questions, where you need to learn more, and to know what to do in those situations is going to be valuable throughout the rest of your life. So I think that goes back to a lot of the experiences that I talked about having in my marketing classes, is being able to work on projects, being able to work with organizations and businesses outside of class, and being able to work as a team to identify problems, be faced with a challenge, and know how to solve that without necessarily knowing the specific way you were going to solve that. So what were the steps that need to be taken so that I can solve this particular challenge? I think that's going to be extremely valuable for any student, and it's something that should be incorporated into any class. I'm Jordan Pana. I am an alumni of the University of Akron Marketing Department. I currently am a project manager at Rosetta, and I am a proud Zip.
I studied for my undergraduate degree marketing. I graduated in 2009, and then I received my master's degree in interactive marketing communications, and I graduated in 2014. Aside from the more kind of strategic academic knowledge, Akron really helped me to build soft skills, so things like solid presentation skills and networking skills and relationship building. And my classmates and I were lucky to be able to interface with local business leaders, and these were companies of all size, small, medium, and large. And there's something really impactful that teaches you accountability and a professional maturity when you aren't just doing something for a grade or a task score, but you're doing it for a real life client that could potentially use your ideas and a strategy. Content is king, and it sounds very cliche, and it's something that marketers have been saying for a very long time, but storytelling is more relevant now than it's ever been, especially in this market where millennials rule the world. Millennials are looking for authentic, responsible stories that aren't just words, but that, you know, impart feeling and emotion and goodwill about a brand. Recruiters are really looking for kind of full service marketers. So they're looking for people that can play on both sides of the fence. They're looking for people that understand data and strategy, but then if you also can have a creative eye and maybe have basic, Photoshop or Adobe skills, I think that's something that would be really valuable in today's market. I would say be open-minded about your professional opportunities and the work that you do. If someone had told me, 10 years ago when I was an undergraduate student that I would find happiness marketing blenders, I would have told you that you were crazy. But it's work that I really enjoy. So I would encourage people to not be afraid to say yes to opportunities and really try on different, marketing careers at different companies, and don't be shied away by just a job description. Really give it a shot.
For the most part, project managers will start at the very onset of a project. That might even be supporting a BD pitch to prospective clients. And for the most part, they will see the project all the way through to the end. In some cases, we have projects that are ongoing, and it's supporting the team through that. But a typical day in the life of a project manager, or at least in my experience, is again, working with the team to understand what they're working on and supporting them. That's one of the biggest pieces, is supporting the team and supporting the client, and acting as that liaison between the two. So certainly the team will be communicating with the client directly, but a lot of times I'm facilitating that communication, as well as trying to understand where we are in terms of status of the project, where there may be issues, working with the team to better understand those, ask questions. And the more experience that you have as a project manager, and the more that I've worked on projects and worked with teams, the better understanding I have of the solutions they're providing and the work that the team is doing, and the better I am able to support them and ask questions and probe and truly understand where we're heading and where there might be challenges ahead so that we can get ahead of those. And then definitely I work very closely with the client to understand what they're working on their end, how that impacts the work that we're doing, to mitigate challenges, identify risk, and ultimately serve their needs and help them in the work.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Alexa Fox. I'm an assistant professor of marketing at the University of Akron. I'm thrilled to be able to welcome you to the live event that we're holding this afternoon with my social media marketing class. The event is focused on social media in an ever-changing world, and the students will be talking about the implications for marketers and consumers related to cutting-edge social media trends. Special thanks to Monsters Unlimited for helping make this event possible each semester. We're excited to bring you a packed event, so please tune in and listen over the next hour, a little over an hour or so, and learn about some of these new trends. We'd also welcome you to be able to participate in the conversation with the hashtag #UAkronMarketing. Thanks.
Okay, so we're going to start it off. Casey, you ready to go?
I'm all set.
Awesome. So we're first going to start talking about user-generated content. User-generated content is pretty much like pure gold for a company, and this is any form of content that is created by the end user. This can include things such as videos, pictures, blogs, discussion boards, reviews on review websites. Most of the time we see user-generated content on social media websites, right? Your friends, your family, they'll have an experience somewhere and they'll tag the location they're at or the product or service, right? Or what happens is people will leave a review on a website, like there's Yelp, Google reviews, Angie's List, these types of websites where companies will acquire a number of reviews and then maybe they'll recycle them and use it to get more eyes and maybe repost it on their social media channels. There are a few ways to get user-generated content. One of the easiest ways is by just having a pretty looking product, right? Having a product or service where the user has a great enough experience where they feel the need to want to share it with their friends and family. Another way a lot of companies receive user-generated content is by reaching out to influencers, right? A lot of us follow big stars, people on Instagram and stuff where we see sponsored posts. Even though it's nice to get a shout out from someone, with high stature, these posts really don't bring the same punch and the same value as, because it says sponsored at the top, right? It kind of takes away from that authenticity and it doesn't bring the same genuine response from someone that really wants to share their experience. A stat to go along with user-generated content to show how prevalent it is today is that consumers today find user-generated content about almost 10 times more impactful than any influencer content when making a purchasing decision. So a few benefits to go along as a result of using user-generated content in your business. Obviously, increased metrics such as user engagement on your website, search engine ranking performance, and other key indicators. But most importantly is the social credibility you get from, having a not so Hollywood scripted commercial, because the Hollywood scripted commercials come off so fake. And a lot of brands today, they beat on their chests talking about how great their product or service is, when in reality, authenticity is really the key, I guess, to sales. People want genuine reviews, taken on an iPhone in a bathroom about a skincare product. It feels more real than some obviously scripted commercial. Casey, do you want to add on to this?
Yes. So what I was thinking about that is that, like, with what you said, you get real opinions from real people. So you're not allowing exactly what you said, the large companies to get in and overly exert themselves, where it's better to get your consumers' opinions. So then I did mine based more off of the photos that are used in the user-generated content. So I believe that by involving your consumers, that you create a level of brand loyalty and inclusiveness that makes the customers and consumers feel that their thoughts and opinions are being heard. I also believe that you're allowing them in a way to participate with your company by wearing your products, specifically with mine. A lot of them, you can submit your photos online, like with Aerie and Adobe. They both allow you to submit your photos of what you're wearing. Specifically, they show, like, a lot of them gotten into, especially with Aerie, involving all shapes and sizes and not just having a stereotypical model like it used to be. So that also creates the loyalty that they're willing to do that with their consumers and pair up. And they've also gone and stopped using airbrush, and a lot of those companies also. This also increases the likelihood that reviews will be left on the website through Yelp and Google reviews and all of those, where they can increase the amount of reviews. I believe that's all I have.
Hi, everyone. My name is Isha Vartak, and I'm here with Erica Sams, Jade Houston, and Brianna Nagy. And today we're going to be talking about TikTok. So I'm going to start off by talking about TikTok algorithms. So just a brief background, algorithms are basically the system that takes care of recommendations and determines what will or will not show up on someone's For You page. And I also wanted to take a moment to real quick just discuss the science behind the algorithm and what the actual factors are that can make a huge difference in audience targeting and making sure that the TikTok ad reaches the right audience. So one component that is taken into consideration is what kind of content the user follows and likes or dislikes or skips past. And additionally, there are other components such as ad quality, relevance, and keywords. And then, so now the question is, what can be done by brands to have the algorithms in their favor? Well, there are many things that can be done. One thing that is super important is to make sure that your brand is up to date with the latest TikTok trends. That'll just engage the audience a little more. And then it's also important to have engaging captions and certain keywords in the caption. And then finally, it is very important for the brand to post at the right time and make sure they look up when the audience is most engaged. And hashtags are also another major factor that should be taken into consideration. And that is what Erica will be discussing next.
Thank you. So one way brands are taking advantage of hashtags is creating their own branded hashtag challenges, which is when the brand asks their consumers to create their own content following certain rules and conditions set by the company. And the viewers are instructed to include the appropriate hashtags in their captions. The key to be successful in an event like this is to have your challenge go viral, which is always easier said than done. So I put together a list of 4 steps that will help you develop your own successful hashtag challenge. The first step is to research past successful challenges. Put together a list of things you noticed within your research. Do the challenges have any similarities or differences? Did the brand partner with any influencers? Write down anything you feel will help you and your brand with your challenge. Step 2 is to create a hashtag viewers will be interested in. The hashtag should be easy to remember, related to the challenge, and include your brand name and product if possible. Making a hashtag relatable and memorable will increase the amount of participants. This will increase your company's brand awareness and give your consumers a long-lasting positive memory with your brand. The third step is to create the challenge. This is when you create the rules for your challenge. What are you asking your viewers to do to participate? Make sure you include which hashtags they should include in their captions. Another thing you can do is to create an incentive to persuade viewers to join in on the challenge. One company that has done a great job recently at creating their own hashtag challenge is e.l.f. Cosmetics. e.l.f. partnered with a pop group called Future X to create a contest for viewers to enter for a chance to become the group's makeup artist. Viewers were instructed to post a TikTok video of their best makeup looks, along with the hashtags #ElfItUp and #contest. All entries were due by the beginning of February, and the company collected a total of 7.3 billion views by the due date. The fourth and final step is to promote your challenge. Your hashtag won't go viral on its own. Make sure you promote your hashtag and challenge on all of your business's social media platforms. And try to get in touch with influencers if possible to help boost how fast the hashtag spreads. And speaking of influencers, Jade will talk to you more about that.
Thanks, Erica. So TikTok advertising is becoming increasingly popular among companies. Companies are realizing that this is a fast way to reach a large audience in a quick amount of time. Companies have also taken advantage of TikTok influencers. During the first year of the pandemic, we saw the rise of TikTok influencers. These TikTokers can range from Addison Rae, Charli D'Amelio, Dixie D'Amelio, Noah Beck, and more. With these influencers accumulating massive followers at such a large and fast rate, companies could use this to their advantage by having these influencers reach their target audiences much faster. Brands that are currently using TikTok to promote their products or services are Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, Hollister, Takis, Bang Energy, and more. Whether these products are being shown by the influencer or worn or even in the background, brands can gain awareness through these tactics and possibly even reach a new audience through the use of TikTok influencers. For example, in 2020, Addison Rae was doing a popular TikTok dance with brownie paper towels just in the background. Charli D'Amelio rose to the top of TikTok and is now one of the most successful TikTokers and has accumulated over 130 million followers in just a little over 2 years of being on the app. Because of Charli's success, brands were able to see success as well. Charli D'Amelio showed her love for Dunkin' Donuts so much, Dunkin' partnered with her and they created a drink known as the Charli. According to Match.com, one day after the TikToker and Dunkin' released the drink, Dunkin' sales increased by 20%. It's important for brands to see these influencers as advantages to reach a larger audience, as well as to help the brands themselves gain more brand awareness. Charli has also partnered with Takis and showcased their Takis waves in a TikTok that amassed over 25.2 million views and 2.7 million likes. The video was all but maybe 15 seconds. Raising Cane's used TikTokers such as Charlie Jordan and Taylor Holder, who don't have as many followers as Charli D'Amelio, but managed to receive over 300,000 likes on Charlie Jordan's TikTok and 995.5 thousand likes on Taylor Holder's TikTok eating Raising Cane's. Overall, brands using TikTok can help increase their brand awareness and has been shown to help brand sales increase as well. I will now hand it over to Brianna, who will discuss direct link advertisements.
Thanks, Jade. Yeah, so TikTok offers many tools to help businesses in marketing using the social media apps. One of those tools is direct link advertisement. So direct links are a URL that connects the social media directly to the business's homepage or website. And that's limited throughout different social media platforms, but some of the social medias that offer this option are Instagram, but that's only through the bio. And then TikTok offers for you to list your direct link through their TikTok for Business applications, which you can learn more on through the TikTok app. Some of the effects of direct link advertisement through TikTok is increasing the traffic and brand awareness to your website, and then also give your business an edge over companies that are failing to use these innovative marketing tools. But in conclusion, there are many elements that platforms such as TikTok offer to business looking to optimize online presence, whether it be marketing through tracking algorithm, increasing brand awareness through hashtags or collaborations through influencers, or driving increased traffic to your business's website by utilizing your site as a direct link. It is important for brands to continue improving their social media role and making those connections with the consumers. Thank you so much.
All right. Is everyone good now? Now we good to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Awesome. Different marketing aspects within the metaverse. But first, what is the metaverse? It can mean a lot of things across the internet, but in this discussion, the metaverse is a virtual reality world where users can interact, game, and experience things in a way they would in real life. A few examples of a metaverse type of game would be Minecraft or Roblox, probably. I'm going to start by discussing influencer marketing in the metaverse. As the other group touched on, brands have turned to user-generated content and influencers now more than ever since the pandemic. And with the idea of the metaverse becoming slightly more of household knowledge, brands are noticing and bringing in millions and millions of advertising dollars with them. Companies like Nike, PacSun, and even NASCAR have all added to the metaverse. Have all added the metaverse into their marketing strategies in one way or another. In online data collection by Azia Research, 60% of influencers refer to themselves as creators in virtual worlds. 72% are considering or are already profiting from the metaverse platform games. And 85% of influencers have played virtual landscape games like Minecraft or Fortnite. So these people are already very seasoned with what's coming that seems so new to us in some ways. But what happens when brands can't find an influencer they want to work with? Well, of course, they build or code their own. Companies like Prada or Puma are building AI people with virtual social accounts to promote their products. And these people aren't real at all in our world. They are completely virtual online. You can only find them there. According to virtualhumans.com, there are over 150 virtual influencers right now, and over 30 of them are verified as a celebrity on Instagram. The metaverse acts almost as a home to these fake people since they really can't call our home their home. We can look to virtual landscape games like Minecraft and Roblox to get an idea of what virtual and non-virtual influencer marketing is going to look like as the metaverse becomes more of a reality. An example of this could be on Roblox, and it's brought in over $20 million to the creators of this virtual influencer so far. Virtual influencer Kai was created by Splash Games to be a game producer for that company by the day. And then by night, she's a chart-topping performer who does virtual shows to thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. So that's an example of that's already bringing in $20 million. It's not, that income's not ending anytime soon because she's just continuing to build up fans. So it's really interesting to see where that could be going. But that brings me slightly over to Riley's topic, so I'll wrap it up over here.
That's pretty cool. But so I chose to do concerts and music promotion within the metaverse. And kind of what I noticed in the pandemic building up to the metaverse was a lot of artists started doing live virtual performances anyways. So I feel this paved the way perfectly for this to be part of the culture. And ways that this has actually become part of music already is Warner Music Group actually is already founding a music venue that is touted to be half musical theme park and half concert venue. It's called the Sandbox, so keep an eye out for that when it comes. And along with this, there have been a lot of concerts that take place in places like what Andrew said. Specifically for me, I am highlighting within Fortnite and Roblox. And a few metrics for that so far are in Fortnite, Travis Scott's concert actually had 45.8 million viewers live, not including any like recordings that were watched. And for Roblox, apparently they're also getting into this scene. And Lil Nas X has actually got one that has 36 million users tuned in, and he earned 8.7 million from digital merchandise alone, which is a whole new atmosphere for this. And the reason that specifically for Lil Nas X was possible was because Sony Music partnered with, they just partnered with Roblox to make virtual merchandise or Birch. And Lil Nas X has already a lot of success. And Zara Larsson, who's another artist, she's already made $800,000 off of it, which is insane. And Universal Music Group, who is another label, they partnered with a digital avatar company called Genies. And finally, there is talk just within the regular record label scene with Snoop Dogg recently acquiring Death Row Records. And he is saying that they're going to do a lot of stuff that has to do with the metaverse and kind of just taking advantage of this whole space. So more labels are bound to do this in the future. And I can't even imagine what else is going to happen based on what we've seen so far. So put that into. Andy.
Thank you, Riley. I gotta build off of the Snoop Dogg thing later and what I have. I'm gonna start out talking about just in general real estate in the metaverse and that sort of market. It's huge, surprisingly, and it's not physical, of course, though it is as real as physical, and the money spent on it is certainly as real as the money spent on the house next door. In metaverse, there are kind of clusters of people where they decide to do their industry, whether that's some sort of retail, performing, social, and where people are, they need to have property to sleep in. They need a roof over their head. And so as you have these social hubs, you have people buying homes and property all around those hubs. And as a result, property values rise in the exact same way it would work in the physical world. And so investors are seeing that as an advantage too, and they're able to see profits. There's one investment company called Sandbox that recently put, what do my numbers say, $4.3 million into the metaverse to buy 100 islands, which they're planning to develop and then resell for $100,000 each. So they're looking to make a huge profit on these developed islands that they bought and made within the virtual real estate metaverse. So it's fascinating. And along that lines, there's almost been $500 million spent on metaverse real estate already in the past year, which is expected to double in the coming year. So there's a lot of attention going in there, and there are serious investors who are really looking towards it, and it's catching attention from CNBC. So really intelligent and seasoned investors and data analysts are looking at this as a way to maybe make money, and they're trying to evaluate whether it's feasible for the long term. There's one celebrity who has decided to really dive headfirst into the metaverse, and Snoop Dogg, once again, as Riley talked about, has purchased a good amount of property in the metaverse. He's got a huge mansion, cost him about $500,000 to acquire. And so he's created this celebrity village with other celebrities moving in around him with really high value luxury properties similar to his. Now, not only has he purchased this $500,000, he's decided to start his own sort of Snoopverse. And so it's his own facet of the metaverse where people are then buying their own property within Snoopverse within the metaverse. So it gets really complicated and a lot's going on, but real money is being spent. And Snoop has already sold 100 parcels. So 100 people supposedly have gone in here and purchased property in Snoopverse. And then he's given away, not necessarily given away, but auctioned off about 3 big time luxury homes around one of his other homes in his own Snoopverse. So real money's getting put in. Snoop Dogg is seeing success and it's building his brand. And this man seems to be everywhere. So Snoop Dogg's a big name. He's staying relevant. And I think other celebrities will see what he's doing and feel that they can do the same thing. The long-term outlook on it is skeptic. CNBC analysts are unsure whether or not this will play out long-term. Right now, there's a lot of money getting pumped in there. So I guess if people keep on going at it like they are, then I think more money will probably go towards it. And it could be a really good long-term investment. Will it be similar to physical property? We don't know, but real estate in the metaverse is a real thing, and people are making a bunch of money off of it. So after that, I'll toss it over to Ben.
All right, thanks, Andy. Well, to wrap up here, I focused on looking at the main type or one of the main types of currency used in the metaverse. So I quickly came to find out, not necessarily surprising, just in my personal opinion, that cryptocurrency is huge within the metaverse. As many people may know, there are multiple kinds of cryptocurrency. And it was kind of interesting to find out that each individual, or there's certain types of cryptocurrency that are used or that is used specifically within the metaverse. So like Andy talked about Sandbox. Sandbox, you could say there's a specific type of platform within the metaverse. There's a cryptocurrency called Sand that is directly correlated with the Sandbox platform. If you're to use cryptocurrency in the Sandbox, you can only use the Sand cryptocurrency. Another example of this, there's the Decentraland platform. It uses the cryptocurrency called Mana. And Mana then can only be used on Decentraland or on the Decentraland platform. So what I read was that you can, buy cryptocurrency, which is already a huge trend within itself. Buying and selling cryptocurrency is growing, and it's huge right now. It's only probably going to continue to get bigger. But so you can buy cryptocurrency. That cryptocurrency can then be used to be turned into tokens, which I'm sorry, I don't necessarily remember the name of the token, but these tokens are then used to, if you so choose to buy virtual property, like Andy touched on, virtual land, clothing for your avatar within the metaverse, or NFTs. For most of you, if you don't know what an NFT is, basically non-fungible tokens. Simply put, they're digital assets that are one of a kind. So some common examples are music, it could be videos, artwork, anything like that can only be owned by one person at a time. That's basically an example of a non-fungible token. So, I mean, like I said, buying and selling crypto is a huge trend already. It's only going to get bigger. And as the metaverse continues to grow, as more people understand it and gain knowledge on it, I can only imagine that the marketing directly related to social media is going to grow for the metaverse and cryptocurrency. I know when I'm scrolling through social media, I've seen plenty of advertisements already for apps such as Coinbase, where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency. So I'm sure here in the near future, we're going to see a bigger correlation between the two, which cryptocurrency and the metaverse, I mean. So we'll see a correlation. And this is going to be a trend that'll probably be here for a long time and only continue to grow. So with that, I just want to say thank you for tuning in and thanks for listening to us.
Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. My name is Aaron Butler. We're going to be talking to you about live streaming today, funny enough, and how you can use that to kind of grow your brand. We thought this would be the perfect opportunity to talk about it, like seeing as this is a live event. So we're just going to jump right into it. I'm going to hand it off to Sydney. She's going to talk first.
All right. So today I will be going over the benefits of live streaming for influencers and then diving into some negatives. So live streaming is the best way to engage an audience in real time and be more connected with your audience. Live streaming makes influencers more accessible, getting closer to the audience and making them feel more like a friend than just someone on the internet. The people watching end up trusting the influencers and making them feel more like a friend, like I just said. And then they want to purchase the product that they are marketing for. While live streaming, it shows how many people are watching your live and also how many people click the website and how many people put something in their cart or bought it. Live streaming is beneficial because they are live instead of having to pre-record a video and edit that video, which takes more time than the actual length of the video. It is also beneficial because the live video doesn't go away on specific platforms. Like I know on Facebook it stays and you can go back and watch it. A lot of influencers use this as a way for people to see themselves as normal. Going through a live stream video, you see sometimes they are driving like normal people. There's also a way for influencers to make money on specific platforms. There's ways to set helps get more followers and more of an exposure to different people than they had before. Now getting into some negatives, one being that some people look at influencers and completely deter away from what they're selling because they think that people are being paid to review the product. I also think that sometimes they say that they're going to review the product honestly and they might not be truthful about it. I also think it would be more beneficial if there was a way to have Instagram and TikTok still put live videos on their feed even after the live ends, just like on Facebook. There are also some connection issues if there are too many people on the live or if someone loses service and they can't go back to the video, especially on Instagram and TikTok. There are also less on-screen graphics, poor quality depending on service and inability to edit. And although there are no on-screen graphics of the specific thing, they can try to promote the things that they had sent to them and what they're trying to market for that company. And another negative to live streaming is knowing when to start the live stream, especially because of different time zones and seeing when people are on Instagram and watching live, stuff like that. Thank you. And now you'll be hearing from Anthony on how to engage the audience with live streaming.
Hello, I'm Anthony. I'll be talking about engaging your audience. With engagement, it's a very important aspect because the algorithm that platforms push, engagement is an important part of it. And the larger the engagement in the stream, the more likely that the platform is going to push out that stream to other people. And within my blog posts, I talked about some of the common and popular ways people use those tools to engage their audience. Some of the features that people have been using that I talked about is like choosing the right topic and then putting that topic into the title so that people are able to see what the stream is about, doing a Q&A session within the stream. And sometimes a Q&A session is implemented within the platforms. So it allows people to scroll through the questions and then click ones that they want to answer. And also just looking at the comments of what people are saying. Some other features people use to engage their audience is using photos and videos, and also inviting people to the stream to be a part of it, such as like having their video on a stream for other people to see. Not all these features are going to be on all the platforms. So one platform might have a Q&A session, but another one won't. So it's just nice to know how to use a feature going forward when they add like a Q&A session. So some other features like for the future that I'd like to talk about is like VR streaming and like 360 viewing. That's just allows people to be more immersed into the environment. And those are just some of the features that will be coming out in the future years to be looking forward to. And now Aaron's going to talk about branding.
All right, thanks so much. Yeah, so when we talk about live streaming as a way to improve your brand image, the first and foremost, the thing that comes up is live streaming gives you a real way to humanize your brand. And instead of having just this, faceless company that nobody interacts with, it becomes a personality and gives you a way to directly connect on a personal level with consumers. In that, it becomes a powerful tool for, like giveaways and contests and things like that. So say if you were to use live streaming as part of a social media campaign, you could reach, a huge amount of people. And in that, it's best practices to, like in the weeks before that, to hit out on the live stream event and build up to it. So in the weeks prior, say, hey, we're we're doing this live event. It's going to be this day, and to really try and grow the audience and make it the most impactful it can be. Additionally, lots of brands are using live streaming now as a way to face directly with customers, to do product demos, and to to deliver the kind of in-store value that a lot of places are missing. So since the COVID-19 pandemic hit and everybody was indoors, lots of brands found it hard. It was a struggle to deliver the same kind of value that they did in store online. And so, for example, Gucci they started, I think in Italy now they built a whole set and a whole studio just for live streaming. So it's got a professional lighting and film crew and everything, and it's just to live stream on their platforms and promote their products, do demos and things like that. And in cosmetics and the skincare industry, we're seeing the same thing. Lots of brands switching to use that to connect with customers in real time and show their products, do a demo of it, and really show the value of it that they're missing from not being in person. And so those are just a few of the ways to improve your brand image through live streaming. Like I said, it's a very personal connection. Like social media in general, it allows you to reach a large number of people and establish a very personal connection with them very quickly. So that's what I got. I'm gonna hand it over to Manuel to finish this off.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Manuel, and I'll be covering some of the major platforms for social media live streaming, including Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So Facebook was the first real big player to make live streaming popular back in 2016. They did this by having a great promotional campaign, as well as celebrity endorsements, and get a lot of celebrities on there that people wanted to listen to. Now, Samsung is one of the most popular brands on the platform with over 160 million followers, followed closely by Coca-Cola and many other popular food brands. So brands that want to spread news about new products in the food or tech market should really use Facebook Live, because that's where these markets are most popular on this platform. Many small businesses use Facebook Live, like Aaron said, to show the inventory. Even the small businesses, besides Gucci, they can show the inventory, and people can kind of shop online without even having to leave their home. Next up, we have Instagram, and it's a very popular platform amongst the younger generation. Live streaming from popular artists, celebrities, and influencers receive a lot of following here. Features like Q&A capabilities help keep the audience engaged. And the fashion industry kind of dominates Instagram, with the top 20 most popular brands being clothes companies. Probably because we have a younger generation, they're more worried about their fashion and what they're wearing, and they can keep up to date on pictures of models wearing the new clothes that they might be interested in. And then for Twitter's live streaming service, in my opinion, is the least popular. I didn't even really hear about it until doing research for this project. I know they do a lot of big games and stuff, but besides that, they have a huge following for PlayStation, Xbox, Samsung, and a lot of different food companies, as well as fashion too. People on Twitter like to get their daily updates on what you're doing. Any type of brands, from food to clothes to gaming, can use Twitter. And that's about it for the most popular ones. Hand it back to Aaron for the conclusion.
Hey, so that was our presentation. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, worked on it. Thank you guys all for being here, for watching the live stream, and thanks again to the crew at Monsters Unlimited for letting us do this. It's been a great experience for us. So thank you so much.
So, hello, my name is Olivia, and my group and I today will be discussing the topic of Instagram marketing. So, just to give a quick introduction for Instagram, if you don't know what it is already, it is a free visual social media platform that individuals can use to post pictures or videos and share it with their audience. It has become quite popular among business owners and influencers to promote and advertise their products on this site. And one way they have taken advantage of it is through a tool that Instagram offers, which I will be discussing. It's called Instagram Insights. So basically what it is an analytical tool that business and creator accounts can use to track their audience's likes, dislikes, or what they engage with the most to improve their strategy. But the one main thing you need to know is that for Instagram Insights, you have to have a business profile. So if you don't have one already, and if you have a personal account, it's really easy to switch to a business profile just from your phone on your settings. But there's three main components that Insights uses to make it easy to compare content, measure campaigns, and see how individual posts are performing. So that'll be through your profile, through individual posts, and through your Instagram stories. So through your profile, if you just click at the top right of your screen, it says Hit Insights. And there you can explore things such as your follower demographics or behavior. So this would be things such as audience location, their gender, their age range, or when the audience is most active on Instagram. Through your post, if you click on the bottom left, there's a View Insights button, and there you will discover things that your users will take, actions they take on your profile after seeing that specific post. So that would be profile visits, follows, website clicks, even saved, if they save your pictures or they share them to other people. And then lastly, for stories, you just click on the bottom left, it says Seen By. And this is actions people take while viewing your stories. So it would be things like taps forwards, taps backs, exits, replies, or swipes. So it's a really cool way to see what your audience is engaging with the most. And the main purpose of this is to identify your top performing content and then working to identify why it performs so well so that you can repeat that success in the future. So a lot of businesses use this technique, and it's really cool. If you study these metrics in depth, it can give you several answers to why your follower count is necessarily super low or why your social media engagement is low. And then you can adjust it accordingly. And we think that Instagram will continue to grow and adapt their platform into an outlet that business owners will be able to use to market their services and products in the future.
Awesome. My name's Ashley. Tying into a little bit of what Olivia's explanation on Instagram Insights, influencers are always going to use these tactics, and they're going to continue to grow more and more to drive engagement. It is completely a fantastic concept to be able to generate content on social media and brand yourself and create that awareness as an influencer or just on a general platform. Influencers are, if you didn't know, are individuals who use their platform to spread their reach and brand themselves. Their reach can help change, create change. So just on a day-to-day, I'm influenced by the influencers that I follow. With all these users on Instagram, you can only imagine what an influencer can do with an audience like that, since Instagram has 1 billion users. In 2021, 55% of influencers are planning to use Instagram as a platform for marketing. And that's a whole lot. Out of 1 billion users, as I kind of said earlier, 37% of these individuals interact with influencers, including myself. Around 56% of sponsored campaigns are influencers using stories on Instagram. So stories are being, kind of how Olivia said earlier, stories are being more interactive. And then, the average influencer made $5,000 per month just on affiliate links. So you can only imagine what that would look like for them. Now just imagine an influencer with a huge following and then, having a new business as an entrepreneur. The opportunities are absolutely endless on a platform like that. With Instagram, as I kind of said before, with 1 billion users, influencers are using this platform to create a future for themselves. And that, just having a business, creating your business off of your influence just provides so many opportunities. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Many of these influencers in the beauty industry spend years being an influencer, working on their brand and creating awareness for themselves. After they have built their entire empire of followers, it's crazy because it takes years. They then create a business based off of that. And, that kind of aligns with them and their brand and the industry they're in and who their followers are. And then, taking that influence as an entrepreneur and opening up that business, launching it, creating revenue for themselves, and then just continuing from there with the trends. So kind of a live example is Nikki Tutorials as an individual. She's on Instagram and other platforms, and she takes her influence to another level. With her 15.4 million followers and engagement, and Nikki has really built an empire in the beauty industry using tools, like paid ads or SEMrush and other insights to build and promote her own business. It's just a really interesting concept.
Yeah, Ashley, I definitely agree. Nikki Tutorials is a great example of how business accounts on Instagram can take advantage of these analytical tools like Instagram Insights to enhance their page more. Going back to what Olivia was discussing earlier, this really makes it stand out and grow their audience into what it is today. And like you said, her following being at 15.4 million followers and kind of doing that on her own is pretty impressive. But I'm Leanna, and bouncing off of what Olivia and Ashley's discussion was on, I'm going to be diving a little deeper into their insights, influencers' insights by when they post paid advertisements on Instagram. So these days, there are a lot of different ways to post Instagram ads, such as through photo and video editing just on your regular feed, doing live videos like we are currently, and then Reels, which is something kind of new, more of a longer video that you can post on Instagram, and other things as well. These ads that they post can give an opportunity to give quick conversions or transactions if they're trying to sell something. And this can give influencers and users a way to see positive or negative results, or even what their return on investment would be for that. So if you didn't notice, when scrolling through your Instagram, ads actually do show up every 3 posts. So there is more than enough time for consumers to see your ad while scrolling if you wanted to post one. And in terms of cost for these paid ads, it can cost between 70 cents to $1 cost per click, which would mean that you would just have to pay each time a user clicks on the ad that you posted. And if a lot of people see it and you think this might get expensive, 81% actually say that Instagram really helps them research or discover new products or services that they are looking for. So they are beneficial. Instagram ads are also a good way to manage insights as an influencer because they are associated with Facebook, and doing this cross-managed content is an easier way to manage your multiple accounts that you have, get your message across to multiple platforms, and watch the metrics from both ends in an easy way. So something that we see coming in the future for Instagram is the destiny of shoppable ads within Instagram. Shopping on Instagram is still somewhat new, and driving these conversions and transactions, as I talked about earlier, is something that influencers should really be paying attention to when posting a paid shopping ad. And in the future, we think that Instagram ads will expand beyond just posting on your feed that you scroll through every day. We think people are going to be posting a lot of different variation of ads through stories, highlights on your profile, reels, as I discussed, and basically this will expand the business community on Instagram tremendously. So all of these tools can be used to engage with audiences and over time, this will become more intricate so that brands will be able to connect with their target audience at a more visionary level. And basically, just kind of tying this all up, the more ads that you post on Instagram in all these different ways, the more metrics and insights all of these influencers will be able to monitor and then execute on their page accordingly to grow their brand and their following in general.
And then additionally, Instagram's always changing. Influencers will always use this platform and these tools, so they'll only continue to grow and engage with the trends. And now here's the next group with the next topic.
Hi, everyone. Before we get started, I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone tuning in today for taking time out of your day to listen to us. Our group is going to be talking about LinkedIn marketing, and I'm going to posts are the posts made using the free tools available to all LinkedIn users, regardless of whether or not they're a business. And what makes them really useful is that users are a lot more likely to trust content that is recommended to them by their friends or by an algorithm based on their interests than they are to trust paid ads. Now, in 2019, LinkedIn saw that businesses were using mostly organic posts, and they decided to make some changes to reduce the spread of organic content and sort of make businesses buy more paid ads. Now, the first thing they did was they made it so that posts are only shared to a page's followers instead of also being shared to their followers' followers. And then they also took away the follow button that was in the corner of every post so that users now have to go directly to a profile page to follow it. And these two changes made it a lot more inconvenient for users to follow a page and see new content. So you might be wondering, what's the point of organic content if LinkedIn is making it harder for posts to go viral? Well, visiting a LinkedIn page is a lot like going to a party, and in that if there's nothing there, people aren't going to stick around. So when users visit your LinkedIn page, they want to know all about your company and what you do. And so organic posts really allow you to cultivate a following that is really interested in your business and that you can reach for free and keep engaged for years to come. And so now I'm going to hand things off to Butterfly for her to talk about how to get leads for your business.
Thanks, Will. So LinkedIn is a great platform in the B2B world. And one way that LinkedIn can help with business practices is through the generation of leads. This can be done in organic posts and in promoted posts or paid posts. So in paid posts, those are what are marked as promoted on the website. You can have many call to actions, including download now, schedule a demo, make an appointment. And there's different types of information that a company can have you enter in. such as like names, emails, the company you work for. You can ask specific questions like how many students attend this school, or does your company offer cybersecurity training, amongst other questions. There's also information scraping. So it would be information that would be gleaned off of your LinkedIn profile if you were to submit the button and to actually schedule the demo or make the appointments. For organic posts, it's a little bit different. Oftentimes people will use a PDF carousel. This means that each of the PDF pages are kind of turned into an image that you can click through, where each click would count as engagements for the algorithm. The images can be quotes of past customers, a sneak peek into what you could download, or like a mini sales pitch. And if someone does want to download or click a demo or whatever, you can link to a website and choose a URL of your choice. So you could go to the download page, to the scheduled demo page on your website, or even the contact us page. So in that way, you would go around the having to pay for promoted posts. With that, let's dive into two other types of gated content, LinkedIn groups and LinkedIn Livestream.
Thanks, Butterfly. My name is Scott, and I took a deeper dive into LinkedIn groups. And while they are a form of gated content, they are not for posting links to your own content or direct sales. This will get you ignored in groups and will probably get you banned from them. Groups should be used to establish or reinforce a brand voice, build brand awareness, and generate leads. Groups take the hard work out of finding consumers, industry professionals, or other businesses that are interested in your industry and let you get right to work establishing yourself as a thought leader, sharing insights and knowledge you may have gained over the years, and you might even learn something yourself along the way. So on LinkedIn, currently, you can join up to 50 groups. So join as many as you feel you're able to contribute to. The more connections you have is always better. And if once you get more established in groups, you start thinking to yourself, how can I take this to the next level? Well, then you want to start thinking about making your own LinkedIn groups. Creating your own group can help establish yourself in the minds of consumers and let you post exactly the content you want since you decide what the group's about. Something that your business does really well or you think you have some sort of unique insight or knowledge on is a great place to start for a group because you'll have plenty of content to share right off the bat. As time goes on, though, more and more businesses are going to start forming their own groups and forming their own communities, so you don't want to be left in the dust. It looks a lot better to be the first group about marketing in your industry than the fifth group. Overall, groups are a great tool to connect, share, and learn from others involved in your industry, and if you want to get the most out of your LinkedIn experience, you have to get involved in groups. And with that in mind, I'll send you over to Michael to tell you all about LinkedIn live streams.
Thanks, Scott. My name is Michael, and I looked at common trends for LinkedIn live streams. It's called LinkedIn Live, and it was created to provide, quote unquote, the perfect live stream experience. And there are many different sort of benefits associated with using this form of live streaming. For one, people will get 7 more times the reactions and 24 more times the comments if you use LinkedIn Live. Now, this is a very good thing because it means that you're getting more interactions, as a result. This can be potentially from future job opportunities, for example, among other things. And an interesting fact that I learned about LinkedIn Live was that typically people prefer to watch something online rather than on television. In fact, there's actually a percentage, 87% of people prefer this form of communications. But not only this, unlike, say, Facebook or Instagram live events, you're more in touch with professionals in your associated field or market of study. Now, this is a very good thing because this means that you can gain proper insight and knowledge from whatever it is that you're discussing online, whether that be something about business, fields of study for marketing, etc. And now this leads me to wanting to discuss the future of LinkedIn Live. You should definitely expect to see more LinkedIn Live events in the future, simply because of the fact that it is both extremely accessible and also professional at the same time. 2 for the price of 1, so to speak. And now this leads to hopefully people listening going like, how do I do LinkedIn Live? It is really easy. If you have a LinkedIn account, you should be able to host an event yourself. They also have really helpful tutorial videos like how to host a live event if you are a beginner, different types of event templates, etc. And it is very intuitive and easy to create content. Now, that's all I have to say for LinkedIn Live, and this is the end of our group's presentation. Our group would like to say sincerely thank you to everyone who's listening and just taking time out of the day just to hear us talk about this LinkedIn. And we hope this information is helpful for you guys in the future. Thank you.
Talking about Pinterest for business content. Then iCade will be talking about idea pins, a new feature on Pinterest. And then Braden will wrap things up by talking about Pinterest Predicts.
To help boost a business reach. So as far as marketing for business, Pinterest offers ad campaigns tailored to reach audiences based not only on standard demographics, but recent keyword usage and interests as well. This sets the platform apart from many others. In addition to the innovative ad campaign experience, Pinterest makes setting up these campaigns very easy. In fact, the most work-intensive part of the entire campaign is taking pictures, professional pictures that is, and other forms of eye-catching content to help advertise the products. Once product content is created and collected, managers can upload their catalogs directly into the shop and run their ad campaigns from there. From there, the brand awareness doesn't stop. Managers can then connect their Pinterest shops to things like Shopify and other social media selling platforms to further help boost product engagement. So now to go a little bit more into the utilization of the ads. The first one is shopping ads, which is the most common. Combined with the verified merchant program, helps to draw buyers in by the dozen while they're browsing through Pinterest. Not only does Pinterest give businesses great exposure, but personal sellers can also sell their products too. And as well, shoppers on Pinterest spend an average twice as much per month compared to other social media selling platforms. In addition to this, Pinterest makes consumers' shopping experience very vast and engaging, given that small to large businesses can post their products in a wide variety of unique categories, where some other social media platforms really rely on followers and influencers to spread awareness. And once a business is established on Pinterest, they can create more visibility and loyalty by starting the verified merchant program, which adds extra verification to the seller's page. This also allows the seller to create a seller description too. And the second form of ad that I wanted to talk about was the seller campaigns for shopping ads, which helps target pinners or people that use Pinterest on a regular basis based on product reviews, availability, comparative pricing, and many more parameters. And this further sets itself apart from similar platforms. In addition to that, pinners, or people who use Pinterest on a normal basis, are 7 times more influential in their purchasing journeys compared to other social media selling platforms. And in addition to that, people who convert to Pinterest are 66% more likely to begin purchasing from new brands as opposed to brands that they normally purchase from, which ultimately builds loyalty to your brand. I'm going to pass this along to Austin.
Hello, everybody. My name is Austin, and I will be discussing the opportunities for brands on Pinterest. As we've seen over the past few years, brands have increasingly begun to utilize Pinterest more than any other social platform to market and sell their products. We are seeing brands that see a deeper and more meaningful connection with their consumers through consumer engagement on Pinterest. Content creation has never been this easy through Pinterest. With Pinterest features such as the ability to include brand partnership tags, tag shoppable products, and even the ability to add affiliate links with all of your deliverable content. Brands need more than retweets and likes to be successful. Brands need tools to optimize meaningful engagement to your post, tools to put content in front of new people that are in the same community of interest. Pinterest sees the opportunity for brands and creators to create unique and meaningful content through Pinterest video, idea pins, which Cade will dig into more heavily shortly here, and even an augmented reality feature to expose your products effectively. Unlike other social platforms, Pinterest looks to reward brands through community engagement parameters rather than rewarding brands and creators through the most likes received and the followers. Pinterest communities are unique beyond other social platforms so that brands can target their specific niche while delivering a powerful marketing campaign. The ability to navigate popular trends such as creating mood boards allow brands to narrow down cohesive ideas to post about in their own perspective, giving the brands opportunities that don't exist on other social platforms to increase brand awareness and customer loyalty. Now Cade will speak upon idea pins.
Yeah, so my name's Cade. Going farther into idea pins, so they were launched in May of 2021, so they're a pretty new feature. They're located on the Watch tab, which is totally separate from the normal browsing tab. They're full screen. They take up a very similar layout to TikTok and Instagram Reels, so it's kind of Pinterest's way to target that younger demographic and compete there with TikTok and Instagram. These idea pins are limited to business users, aka social media influencers. They're an evolution of story pins with more features, and they do not disappear in 24 hours. Some of these features are that the pins can be composed of multiple videos and images. You can add music on them, and they have a variety of editing options. Lots of influencers use them for behind-the-scenes tutorials and step-by-step processes. Then idea pins can benefit content creators in a bunch of different ways. So with the Watch tab, it helps them push their content to more users, as the Watch tab shows users things based off their recent activity. So if they post something and the user are interested in it, those users are going to see it. The content creators have noticed high engagement, increased impressions, and have said their content has stayed relevant longer with these pins. It also allows them to interact with their followers easier, as their followers can respond with takes, which are video or picture responses, and this creates an active community on Pinterest. Finally, with idea pins, this was the first time that creators could use affiliate links and literally tag products in their posts, and they can earn commissions off of that. So it's the first time they've been able to process or profit off of Pinterest. And then finally, idea pins benefit Pinterest as well, as they give more incentive for influencers to use their platform. Nowadays, everyone on social media is really using it for people because they're invested in these people. So this helps the creators feel more invested, or the regular user feel more involved with the creators. So in my opinion, idea pins are here to stay. Is there a Pinterest way to appeal to a younger demographic? They've got the audience engaged and are keeping users on their site. So now I'll pass it to Brennan.
All right. So now for the last topic, we're going to be discussing Pinterest Predicts. Pinterest Predicts is a tool created to help businesses and users alike find new and upcoming trends. Despite the size of the business or the industry, these predictions can help leverage insights on future trends. These predictions and trends on Pinterest are made to take off faster, last longer, and inspire across a bunch of different categories. Now, the idea of predicting trends and actually implementing them into a business strategy may seem a little far-fetched, but it could actually be a viable option for many businesses. Looking at last year, Pinterest Predicts stated that 80% of the predictions they made actually came true. On Pinterest Predicts, businesses can filter results that are based around audiences that you're looking for, such as Generation Z, Millennials, or Gen X. And then you can go more into it and focus on a specific category such as fashion, tech, or finance. There are a ton of different predictions that a business can use to help create their next campaign. Looking at an example of a brand using Pinterest Predicts from last year was Buick, which they created a campaign around the Little Moments, Big Love trend. Pinterest made the prediction that people would celebrate the smallest moments in 2021, and Buick took advantage of this trend, and according to Pinterest, the campaign performance exceeded the benchmarks with 74% higher video completion rate compared to the other auto benchmarks. So even if a future trend may seem unrealistic, it can be leveraged into a successful marketing campaign. And at the end of the day, Pinterest Predicts is out there to help businesses find new and creative ways to stand out with their campaign. And so that wraps up really the discussion on marketing with Pinterest. And thank you everyone for your time.
Hi, my name is Emma, and I have with me Caitlin and Maria, and we are going to be talking about YouTube marketing and how YouTube can help your business. So just in general, YouTube can help launch and promote your products, express your brand's personality, help monitor feedback and provide customer service, help your customers spread word about your business. And then my topic of YouTube marketing is going to be immersive shopping. So immersive shopping is when you engage with a YouTube advertisement or you're just watching a YouTube video and that directly leads you to purchasing a product from a company's website. And there are 3 different types of immersive shopping experiences. First, there's going to be Shop With Me videos. So Shop With Me videos, the YouTuber is taking you along on their shopping experience. So they're going to the store, going to a mall, and going and picking out products right there with you. You're going along the journey, and they're just talking about the brand or the company and the products there in person. The second video is going to be haul videos. So haul videos can be from having a birthday and you're showing off your gifts, back to school hauls, holiday hauls, or even beauty hauls with makeup and soaps and all of that kind of stuff. And so hauls, they're already back at home, they've already purchased the product, and they're just sharing their experiences, and they're sharing what they like about the product, what they don't like about the product, things like that. And then the last one is going to be first impressions. So this is when a YouTuber has an experience particular product or particular business before, and they're trying it out for the first time. And so videoing their live reaction of just the product, how it's used, and they are just giving you their live feedback. And then up next, Maria is going to speak on her topic.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Maria and I'm going to be talking about YouTube influencer advertising today. So I first just wanted to start off with what exactly an influencer is. It is an individual who can influence others by swaying a target audience in a certain direction with their behaviors, primarily by the promotion of a product or service. So a YouTube influencer is also known as a YouTuber. They're very successful because they provide a unique advertising method based on their platform and reputation alone. The fact that they post their live videos gives them more credibility because they mirror the average person. They're perceived as more trustworthy and authoritative because of this to the public eye. They also create entertainment. This allows them to better connect with their audience and inform them about products or services. So the most engaged influencer categories on YouTube are that of vlogs. So an example of this would be videos titled "A Day in My Life" or "Come Along With Me" videos. Then there's gaming. So these are things such as live streams or walkthroughs of a specific game. Then tutorials. So this allows the individual viewing to learn something new. So an example of this would be something like hair or makeup tutorials or DIYs using new products. And then my personal favorite is unboxing and reviews. This is important because it informs and builds awareness about products and also allows the viewer to virtually experience our product or service before buying and also can influence them to buy it. So why YouTube for influencer advertisements? YouTube is one of the most popular entertainment outlets to date. It has a unique, broad platform that allows individuals to view the exact content that they are looking for and to be given videos related to their interests. And that's all I have. I'm going to hand it over to Caitlin.
All right. Hi, my name is Caitlin, and today I'm going to be discussing the importance of advertisements on YouTube TV and why social media marketers should be paying more attention to this popular streaming service. So first, I'm going to start off with what is YouTube TV. It is an online streaming service similar to like Hulu or Netflix. You can use it in many locations. It does provide more value to users. It has channels that will get you satellite or cable services just at a cheaper rate. And there are targeted commercials on this streaming service. The science behind advertisements on YouTube TV, the user selects preferences of interest channels and shows to guide the user towards desired content. And YouTube TV uses advertising targeting, and this allows the user to be targeted using their age, gender, interest, location, and the certain kind of device it's using. And this allows the users to see ads based on these topics they have an interest in, and they will be more likely to interact with the ad. YouTube TV uses YouTube Analytics. This is a tracking method that tracks the number of views the ad received and the conversion rates of the ad. So a couple examples I have of YouTube TV advertisements that were recent were the 2021 NBA Finals advertisement. This was an advertisement on YouTube TV for YouTube TV, showing the unique features it has. It highlighted the point that you could catch up on the action by watching real-time highlights, key plays, and receiving game alerts to get caught up if you ever miss a little piece of it. Another example is the 2022 Super Bowl. This one did a similar advertisement that highlighted the unique features of YouTube TV that would set it apart from the competitors. Why to YouTube TV is important for marketers, specifically social media marketers. For social media marketing specifically, the advanced targeting that allows the target audience to be reached and will most likely interact with the ad is probably one of the most important features. It's making sure the message is going to the right people, and it's also saving time and money for the marketer and the company. This could also be saving money and time for the user if they don't know what product to get. And the marketers use YouTube Analytics. They use this to review and improve the ad based on engagement rates. This is important for social media marketers because you can adjust the advertisement to reach the right audience, and you are seeing what does and what does not work and fixing it to reach the appropriate audience. That is all I have about this topic, and I think that is wrapping up our discussion, and I hope you all enjoyed learning about the importance of YouTube marketing, especially for social media marketers.
Thank you for joining us for the live event this afternoon. It's been great to showcase our students' work, and we look forward to continuing the conversation on the hashtag UAkron Marketing, not just today, but anytime throughout the semester. We'd love to connect with you. Please continue to stay connected with us and our students, and go Zips.